on your batteries. Check. Emergency center. Check. Store up your water. Check. And board up your window. Check. So you got to place it. Check. Before it is too late. Check. Disaster could happen anytime, any place.
Welcome to From Danger to Safety, the official disaster preparedness program from the National Emergency Management Agency, Nema. This show is proudly brought to you by our sponsor, National Caribbean Insurance. Stay with us as we move from danger to safety.
In the sun or in the rain, life's a journey, joy and pain. But NCI's here day and night, always here for you, making it right. Always here for you. With NCI, you've got a friend, always here for you, right here to the very
At National Caribbean Insurance, you are covered and secure. We're your partner, your protector, your peace of mind. So for home, for health, for life, choose NCI because we're always here for you. Always.
Always here for you. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Right here to the very end. Always here for you. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Right here to the very end.
On today's program, we address a vital topic, the relationship between disaster preparedness and mental health. We are joined by Valencia Smithen-Byron, Deputy Director and Clinical Counsellor at the National Counselling Centre. While we often speak about physical safety, Mrs. Smithen-Byron outlines why mental health must be a core component of every national response plan. She'll define what mental health is and help us understand the immediate psychological impacts of emergencies. We'll also discuss how to proactively build mental resilience, the importance of psychological first aid, and why we must address the unique challenges faced as a small island state. Stay with us as we move from danger to safety.
Good day, I am Valencia Smithen-Byron, a clinical counselor and the Deputy Director of the National Counselling Centre, which falls under the umbrella of the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Affairs. So mental health is our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, behave, and cope with stress. Just how our physical health needs attention, just so our mental health. Mental health is not separate from physical health. Mental health must be a core component of our national disaster preparedness and response plan, mainly because disasters not only destroy buildings, it also impacts people's inner lives. Trauma comes directly through injury and grief, and also indirectly by witnessing the sufferings of others, and also just by us worrying about our loved ones. If mental health is included in our disaster response plan, then it will help people to process their trauma, build resilience in the community so that they can go through the recovery process together, and also prevent long-term struggles such as PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and depression from happening. If we neglect the emotional healing and just focus on the physical recovery, then of course communities will be left vulnerable. Total recovery includes both rebuilding homes and also minds. People may feel shock, grief, fear, and even confusion in the immediate aftermath of a disaster. Many may struggle with anxiety, depression, sleep disturbances, and even emotional numbness. At the community level, This may show up as collective grief, a rise in emotional tension, as well as difficulty working together as a community. If mental health again is included in our disaster response plan, definitely we can have early support through psychological first aid, PFA, that will help people to cope, build resilience, and also prevent long-term harm from happening. Pre-existing vulnerabilities such as poverty, chronic illnesses, whether they are mental or medical, as well as social isolation, can magnify disaster-related stress. Persons who have fewer resources available to them as well during times of disasters are also more vulnerable to long-term mental health issues. For example, a family who does not have access to transportation or even medical care would struggle more emotionally during hurricanes or even after hurricanes. The psychological first aid is simple support, care, connect, comfort. At its heart, it emphasizes listening, reassuring, and linking people to help. World Health Organization, WHO, has described it in 3 steps. First, we look for safety. We look for those persons who are in need. We also listen. We listen to them share their stories. Also, we listen to what they may be in need of. And we link them to practical assistance and even long-term care. At the end of the day, just being present and showing humanity can make a world of difference. Now, psychological first aid is not therapy, so anybody can administer it. That is why it's critical for first responders, community volunteers, and even the common citizen to learn or be trained in offering psychological first aid, because they are going to be the first lifeline of crucial support within their communities when disasters strike until the professional help becomes available. So they are going to help the community to build resilience. In small islands like ours, disaster hit close to home, both literally and emotionally. Even if we are not directly affected, the sense of grief and fear weigh heavily on the communities because they are closely connected. Take, for example, in the latter part of 2024, we had a vehicle accident that occurred on the outskirts of the community of Sandy Point. This was very tragic. Several persons lost their lives. And we had this sense of grief, anxiety, and survivor's guilt rippling through the Federation. Added to that, during disasters, we are normally exposed to repeated distressing news. This too can worsen stress, sleep difficulties, as well as the feeling of helplessness. So we are impacted directly or indirectly because we are a close-knit community. With the limited mental health professionals available, unfortunately, we would have to rely on the families and the community networks. So the burden of coping will rest on them. And our small islands will have to rely on collective support as well as resilience building. Local leaders, churches, and even to the neighborhood groups, they play a very critical role in times of disaster, mainly because they know the community best, right? So they will be the first lifeline of crucial support to their communities. And these persons are or will be trained in psychological first aid, so they'll be able to recognize early distress signs and offer support and comfort, and also linked persons to the different professional services or help that will be available. Now, it is important for these people to know their role because it's quite crucial, and they as well going to help prevent issues from worsening and also to build resilience within the communities. After a disaster, persons can become more self-aware and watch for signs of severe mental distress within themselves or others. Some of the symptoms they can watch for are aggression in the behavior, isolation or withdrawal, nightmares, persistent sadness, heavy dependence on substances, and even difficulty in coping daily. Once these symptoms persist or worsen, or they are significantly affecting their daily lives, then it would be best for them to seek the support of mental health professionals throughout the Federation, both private and public, such as the National Counselling Centre. Yes, we can psychologically prepare for disasters. Psychological preparation is similar to physical preparation, where we stock up on food, water, and medical supplies. We can build mental resilience into our daily lives right now by learning and practicing coping skills, healthy coping skills, as well as maintaining healthy routines and strengthening the support systems that we already have. Families, they too can join in on the psychological preparation by having discussions about these disasters and the fears that surround these disasters, so you can normalize these fears. They can also devise response plans for their families and ensure that everyone in the family is familiar with this plan. So in time when it needs to be executed, everyone is on the ball and knows what to do. Also, families can learn as well stress management techniques such as mindfulness and deep breathing. Once we are prepared, we are going to be confident and calm when disaster strikes. My message here is simple. Recovery should not just focus on rebuilding homes, but also on healing minds and restoring hope. Disasters, they come with intense stress, grief, and unpredictability. Building mental resilience into our lives can make the difference between remaining calm or spiraling into panic during times of disasters. So let's be proactive and mentally prepare by being physically prepared for disasters, learning healthy coping skills and stress management techniques, strengthening our support system, practicing healthy routines, and also creating a psychological first aid kit that would include journals, coping affirmations, and even self-care tools and any other thing that you'll find necessary to help you to cope. The idea is to control what you have the power to control. So remember, in time of disasters, strong minds make strong communities.
That's all the time we have for today's episode of From Danger to Safety. We'd like to extend a special thank you to our guest, Valencia Smithen-Byron from the National Counselling Centre, for her essential insights on why mental health must be central to our disaster preparedness and recovery efforts. A special thank you to our sponsor, National Caribbean Insurance, for making this program possible. The program is aired every Tuesday at 1 p.m. on Ziz Radio with a rebroadcast on television at 8 p.m. It will also be available on Nema's YouTube channel and Facebook page. For more information on disaster preparedness, follow us on our social media channels. Join us again next time as we continue to help you move from danger to safety.
So you got to play safe before it is too late. Disaster could happen anytime, any place. In the sun or in the rain,
Life's a journey, joy and pain, but NCI's here day and night, always here for you, making it right. Always here for you. With NCI, you've got a friend, always here for you, right here till the very At National end. Caribbean Insurance, you are covered and secure. We're your partner, your protector, your peace of mind. So for home, for health, for life, choose NCI because we're always here for you. Always.
Always here for you. With NCI, you've got a friend. Always here for you. Right here till the very end. Always here for